What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk. We have a Euro special for you lot today. England versus Slovakia. This is the preview. The round of 16 is upon us. This is where it gets serious. And if England pull the finger out, we have a very favourable side and slash bracket of the tournament to maybe reach a final, like I said, if they do decide to pull the finger out. Lads, before we get into discussing England in depth and individual kind of problems or whatever you want to call them, what were your thoughts on that game? I don't know if you've both just watched it then. Italy, Switzerland. Obviously, Switzerland the next opponents if we do get past Slovakia. Just thoughts on that, lads. If Shreyas, I don't know if you watched the game, but yeah, Sam or Shreyas.
Italy looked like shit, didn't they? They looked terrible. And I said this afternoon, I think the Switzerland will beat them, and they did quite handily. Like they didn't look like they were doing better than they should. They just looked like they outclassed Italy in every single way. And yeah, this Italy team, it's not a great one. It's definitely not a great one. But you would think Italy are a weaker team. You probably think England would prefer to take on Italy because that Switzerland side looks pretty strong, man. They look physical. They look dominant. They look like they can cause problems. That'll be the first team that England have played so far that will cause us an issue because all the other teams have kind of sat back and not really gone for us. So that Switzerland team is definitely going to be a problem for us if we get through against Slovakia.
Shreyas, did you manage to catch any of the game yourself?
Not at all.
They look good. They look good. They were shifting it about. They dominated Italy, especially in the first half. I mean, Italy didn't even have a shot on target for about 60 minutes, I don't think. So, yeah, do you think Switzerland are going to offer that little bit of threat we should be worried about?
I think in the last tournament as well, they managed to make it to the quarters or something. They knocked out France in the last tournament and managed to go on. So, I think they're one of those teams that they just have that element in them to make a game tough and just stretch it out. And even against Italy, even in the group stages, people could see that they're not completely at it. They're not a team that at least when Spain they played in rhythm, you could see the areas where they can actually exploit other teams and cause damage. Nico Williams and Yamal have been doing quite well. Their midfield with Ruiz and Mikel Merino, and however they set them up, it seems to work. So you get an idea as to how they want to approach an opponent. With Italy, apart from their two centre backs, it just hasn't really clicked for them throughout the course of this tournament. And even with Switzerland, they caused Germany a lot of problems as well in the group stages. So I think overall it is a result that probably is not as shocking as if anyone has seen every single Euros game up until now for Switzerland and Italy, it's not as much of a surprise the way it has turned out.
No, I think the majority of even pundits before the game were saying that I think Switzerland are probably favourites for this. And the experience they've got in the back line, the way they was ticking the ball about, like, honestly, it reminded me a little bit like City. Just kept hold of it. And then when he lost it, the pressure off the ball was really, really good. Won it back instantly. And yeah, they absolutely dominated. So that's definitely going to be a tough test. If England get past Slovakia tomorrow. Now, Sam, the talking point and the obvious talking point is the midfield, the Mainu situation. He 100% has to start in that midfield tomorrow, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think you saw the experiment with Trent didn't work. It just didn't. Like, I think Trent thrives on that sort of long diagonal ball. And when you've got one runner in Saka and he's being double marked, and then the other person is Phil Foden who wants to come inside, Harry Kane, who's not going to run in behind, wants to drop deep, he's got nowhere to play it. So he just looked lost and wasn't able to do what he's good at, which is like that kind of ball. He persisted with it, and then we all knew what he was going to do. If he was going to drop him, he was going to play Gallagher, which he did. And I just thought Gallagher doesn't offer anything. Like, he's not creative enough. He's not a line splitter. He doesn't give you anything going forward. And it's just, it was just the wrong decision. So I think once Kobbie Mainoo came on with the last 15 minutes, he clearly looked like he had an impact. And I think that was when they most likely looked to score in that game. Was when he came on, and Cole Palmer as well. I think, he's able to split those lines. He can sit back when Rice goes forward, and he's able to go forward when Rice sits back, and he has a good combination thing. I think he has a good understanding of the game, and I think, he has to start. I would make multiple changes, but I think the only one that he's going to make is Mainoo in the midfield. I think everything else stays the same.
And even that, if he didn't, I mean, I don't think people would be surprised either, because it is Gareth Southgate at the end of the day. Shreyas, Kieran Trippier is another one is kind of touch and go at the minute. I think he's been back and forth nursing a calf injury. I think it is, but that left side hasn't been strong anyway. I think Consa's favourite to replace him if Trippier isn't available. Is that the right option, or do you go with someone else? I've seen stuff like Saka being mentioned at left back. I've seen Joe Gomez. How would you kind of manage that?
I think Joe Gomez could still be an option because he has actually played in that position for Liverpool throughout the course of this season. But Saka is never happening at left back. Gareth Southgate will never pull that sort of a move. He's going to stick with Foden. He's going to stick with Saka, in that left wing and right wing position. But I think Joe Gomez, if you look at it from Southgate's perspective, is the safest option to go for. Because apart from it, every single other player who he could play in that position would be a bit of a gamble. With Joe Gomez, he's actually played a lot of games in that position, has done relatively all right in that position as well. So and as far as I've seen Southgate, he always goes with the safest bet. Yeah. So I think Joe Gomez will be the one featuring instead of Trippier.
Yeah, there's also a lot of shouts, Sam, for Palmer to start after his 20-minute cameo, because I thought he just makes shit happen, doesn't he? As soon as he gets on the ball, it looks like he's got that kind of bit between his teeth, and that you could say that not for a lot of our attackers, he didn't have that kind of bite about him. It was just kind of very flat until he came on. If he does replace someone, who should that be? Who would you drop?
There's a couple of people you could probably drop if you want to get Palmer in the team. I think Saka went off the boil in the last game, but I don't think that. I think that was partly not his fault because he was getting double marked out of the game because they knew that was the only outlet out wide. I think Bellingham was poor in that game. I don't think he was any good. I don't think he's really played up to the standards since that goal in the first game. I think his form's been in dip. I think Foden out on that side, on the left-hand side, just doesn't work. Play him on the right or play him in the middle. So I would drop Bellingham. I'd put Foden down the middle. I'd put Gordon on the left and I'd put Palmer on the right. Give yourself some width. Give yourself some runners, because if you're going to stick with Harry Kane, you need runners and you need width. And I think Foden in behind Harry Kane, who's able to run on beyond him and then pick up the ball with him. And then you've got Gordon with a width running down the left and Palmer down the right. I think you have that. And I think you can put Slovakia away quite easily and quite quickly with that kind of firepower. And then if you want to change up and you want to give players some minutes, the likes of Ollie Watkins or something like that, I think you can do that. You can bring on Adam Wharton, or as I call him, Patrick. You can bring him on. So people like Eze you bring on. You've got defenders who've not had game time yet as well. So I think you could use that as an opportunity to blood minutes for those guys. So I would make wholesale changes personally, but I just don't think Gareth's going to do that. I think he's going to be the same team, but Mainu in, Gallagher out. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, goals seem to be an issue at the minute, Shreya. There's only 2 goals so far for England in the whole tournament. I mean, the Georgian striker's scored more than that on his own. I think he's got like 3 goals himself. How do you get more goals out of this team? Again, I'm not expecting you to bring a blueprint of tactics and stuff, but you look at the players that are in there. Like I said the other day, they've got combined like 200 goals and 150 assists between them this season. You look at Kane's output. How do you get more out of them? What would you personally do with that front line, or what tweaks would you make?
I'd draw Foden first off. Like genuinely, I would draw Foden. I would put someone who can naturally, stretch the play, can play out wide. Someone like a Gordon, or just someone who can actually play off as a winger and stretch that midfield line and allow Kane to actually do what he does. Because right now Kane is playing way too deep, and even when he's way too deep, he isn't really involved in the play that much. And when you've got someone like Kane, you want him to be around in that final third where he actually is the most deadly. So I would get in someone like a Gordon. I would probably even bench Saka and try someone like a Cole Palmer, who's been doing very, very well this season with Chelsea. So if a certain player isn't working out, drop them. You've got better alternatives on the bench waiting. You've got players who can actually play in that position and do a decent job for you. And maybe, throughout, as the, game progresses in the 70th or 75th minute, chuck on a Phil Foden in that number 10 position, or chuck on a Saka in that right wing position and see how it progresses. Because if these guys are not going to be performing for you, it's going to create a lot of trouble. And it has been creating a lot of trouble because Foden hasn't been at it. Saka hasn't looked any great either. And if you want Kane to flourish, the only way he can flourish is if you allow him to, move about in that final third position. And I haven't seen that in an England shirt for him throughout the course of this Euros.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about balance. We just talked about Switzerland at the start of the thing, and they are perfectly balanced. They look like same thing with Germany. Me and Sam was discussing this story earlier on today. If you get the right balance out of the team, that's all that matters. If you have to, drop certain, big players throughout the squad, it has to happen. You have to do it. If it gets results, you've got to be ruthless in that sense. And I don't think Southgate's got that in his nature. He seems to have that little softness, like Ollie did to a certain extent. He's afraid to drop certain players at key points. And I think Southgate needs a bit of backbone about him. Let's move on to Slovakia then, Sam. Beat Belgium on the opening day. Lost to Ukraine, drew to Romania, so a mixed bag in the group stage. Team known for being extremely organised, hard to break down, the typical shit that you get basically with no offence, but to the lower teams who are coming into this competition. And why wouldn't you play like that? I think they're going to try keep it tight, and I think they're going to try and frustrate us. Skriniar said in I think one of the media press conference things that they've got a plan for England. What might that plan be? Do you think?
I think it's just what you described a minute ago. Keep tight, keep low block. Let's see if we can counter. Let's see if we can get something on the break and just keep them out as much as possible. Obviously, England have not been great in front of goal at the minute. They struggled to score. And if Southgate persists, they know exactly what sort of tactics he's going to do. He's going to try and score early, and he's going to try and hold something. That's what Southgate does. So they know exactly how he's going to play. So unless Southgate decides all of a sudden, I'm going to play a new fancy type of formation or a new type of tactic, which I doubt he will, they know exactly what to expect. So I'd expect the same as what Slovenia did to get a draw. I'd expect the same with what who's the other team we played? Serbia.
Slovenia.
Serbia, yeah. So I'd expect the exact same tactics. Sit back, defend well, keep it compact, and then on the counter, get a break, long ball over the top, and try and snatch a goal. That's pretty much how we're going to do it. Like that's the only way they're going to do it, because I just don't think this is not a Georgia team. This is not an Austria team. Like, they're not going to outpass you. They're not going to try and outwork this. They're going to do one way and one way only. And England seem to be really shit at it. We seem to try and score early and then just sit back and let them do it. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, ridiculous.
Yeah, I think they're going to target our left-hand side, but they're obviously their right-hand side. You look at their player, Schranz, I think he's called. He's got 2 goals for them so far. Obviously, if there is a change up in that position, it's going to look like a little bit of a weak point that they can target, put crosses into the box. How do you deal with that threat? Because if there is chopping and changes, you're going to have that little bit of lack of chemistry. Do you try and double up, or do you be brave and bold tomorrow if you're England and try and dominate the game?
If Southgate is the manager, that will never happen.
Yes.
Brave, bold.
Would you, though?
Doesn't matter
if you was the
opposition.
manager of England, that's what I'm asking.
If I was the manager of England, that game should be finished in the in the first half itself.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't even go any further.
Yeah.
That's how the game should actually go, but that's not the way it will go. It will go down till the final whistle, and just hope that they're able to work things right, because I still think that it will mostly be an unchanged 11 for England. It will mostly be the same players in in those positions. And the most shocking thing is that the only fix that Southgate thinks is possible with the England team is the introduction of Conor Gallagher. So it just doesn't really set a good project, especially when you see other teams like Austria doing so well, Georgia doing so well, who I don't really think even have anywhere near to the quality of players that England actually have right now, and they're still playing much better football and much attractive football. So overall, I think England are quite lucky with the draw they've got and the side of that they are on. They can still easily make it to the semis, because I think that's when it will actually get a lot more tougher for them.
We actually play a decent team.
yeah, and but yes, apart from that, I think it will be a very boring game. Doubling down, I think it will, once again, like Southgate actually goes, it will be very compact, in the backside. I think he'll go with Joe Gomez, and I don't see a lot of goals in this game once again.
Interesting. You know what? I think India could probably give us a run for our money at the minute, the way England is setting up. Honestly, any team who just stay compact, hit them on the counter, they've probably got an opportunity. Sam, we had a similar situation when Iceland knocked us out in the round of 16. I think you'll remember that.
Oh god.
If we was to get beat by Slovakia in this round, would that top that, do you think? Or is Iceland worse for you?
I think Iceland's probably worse because that was the first. I believe that was the first tournament they qualified in in a long fucking time, and they were ranked. I'm sure they were ranked like 100 and something. Like the ranking was insane. I think Slovakia were like what 40 something. I believe their ranking or something. So I think less embarrassment, but still you still have to be beating them. Like you have to put them away. It's knockout time now. Like you can't with the group stage, you can't just get away with a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
And just say like you have to kill the game. Like nobody wants if it ends up going extra time and penalties, you've embarrassed yourself. Like you have.
Yeah.
With the talent you have and the abilities that you have on the pitch, it should not be going to extra time and penalties. But Dan's just left a super chat. India have won the T20 World Cup. Congratulations, Shreyas. Congratulations to Dan.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Finally,
Ginger ale for everyone tonight. Let me tell you.
12. It after 13 years, we won a title.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is that how long it's been?
The last title we won was the ODI format in 2011, and since then it's been semi-finals, finals, semi-finals, finals, and
Oh wow.
recently
That's like
last year the tour.
Yeah.
But the difference was we played good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think what have we gone 10 years now without a title United since 2013, 11 years.
Yeah.
So,
Today we won in the Battle of the Chokers. So it was another team who always choke in the finals up against us. We managed to get in, and if the camera is not focused, but there are firecrackers outside my home right now.
Fireworks going outside.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The ginger ale's breaking out tonight. Forget the 50-degree heat.
For sure.
Yeah.
After this game, I'm going.
Love that. We won't keep you too long. Let's dive into the quick fire questions. We'll get into. I've got some very good ones here for you. So, first on, who is England's most valuable player? Who do you think would sell for the most in the market? Out of our
Bellingham.
current crop.
I'd say
Think he'd
Foden.
be worth more than Foden?
I think Foden.
Yeah.
How much do you think that they're both worth?
I think Bellingham is worth around 160, 170 right now.
I don't think Bellingham's worth that. I think Bellingham's 120, 130, but I could see Foden going for like 140. I think that's where you're at.
Yeah. What about Palmer? How much do you reckon plays like Saka? Another one as well, young. Worth a lot. These £100 million players.
Palmer, how much did he go to Chelsea? 45? Is it
45?
He's
45.
doubled that value.
He's
100%.
he's close to like 80, 90 million now, isn't he? Like he has to be.
I think Saka is around that 100, 110 mark too.
Yeah. Arsenal bought Rice for 100 mil, don't forget.
Yeah.
His value's probably gone up. But you think about it, actually, like, it's worth a lot.
I think Bellingham shot up a lot more because he got bought for 100 and then he managed to win the Champions League and La Liga.
Exactly.
While, actually being a Ballon d'Or contender as well.
Harry Kane's maintained his value. He's scored the record amount of goals in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Like,
Still worth quite a bit. Just bought for 90 million quid.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting conversation. I'll leave that one for the chat as well. What do you think? Who's England's most valuable player? Leave it in the comments section. Which manager do you think would be open to England and do a good job?
I got it the wrong way around. I think Pochettino. I think he'd do a good job.
Okay. Shreyas?
I'd say Mourinho would do a very good job.
Yeah.
He'd do a very good job with the kind of
England.
with the kind of players you've got. He knows how to make use of a star 11. He knows how to work that.
Can deal with egos definitely, and can win games. Create a 5-a-side for the teams left in the tournament. So if you want me to tell you the teams that are left in the tournament, I can do. But on form, so I'm not just saying the best players, like the ones you've been impressed with in the tournament. Yeah. We've got Spit.
Get that Georgia goalkeeper in there. He's been
Dashvili.
Yeah, get him in.
Yeah.
You want the Georgian goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Okay. Centre back. Who would you put at centre back? Who's impressed you in this tournament so far?
You can't put this. I'd love to put the Italy ones in, but they've been shit.
Yeah.
Calafiori's been really good. That's who I would.
Calafiori has been good. Bastoni has been.
Yeah, Bastoni's been all right. Who else? Who's defensively sound?
Akanji's
been good.
Akanji's been good.
Get Akanji in there.
Yeah. Shreyas, you can have your own team if you want. You can both have a little 5-a-side. So do you want me to tell you the teams that are left in and you get a bit of an idea?
Yeah, yeah.
You've got Spain, Georgia, Germany, Denmark, Portugal, Slovenia, France, Belgium, Romania, Netherlands,
Pepe
Austria.
in. I'll
Who?
put Pepe in. Pepe.
Pepe, 40-year-old
Yeah,
Pepe in there,
yeah,
playing
yeah.
five-a-side. Jesus.
I put so I've got a Kanji. I'll put Kante because I think Kante's been excellent.
Kante
Oh,
has
yep.
surprised.
Yeah,
He's been
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
excellent.
it's a good
Yeah.
shout that. Shreyas, midfield?
Midfield, I'll pick Tony Cruz.
Tony Cruz also as well been awesome
Yeah.
for Germany. The oldies, old but gold
Yeah.
is what they say. Have a bit of an attack winger or a 10.
Yeah, I'll put
Throw in there.
Fulkrug in as my striker.
Yes,
I like
nice.
him. I think he scored some
Yeah.
important goals. And then who we're putting is like a floating 10/winger.
Slash
I
winger.
think.
Shreyas, any idea? Are
Yeah,
you gonna put your guy in there?
I'm gonna put Kvaratskhelia. I'm
Kvara,
putting him in.
yeah.
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 I'll put Lamine Yamal.
Lamal?
Yeah.
And who's
Yeah.
your striker, Shreyas?
Ah,
Who's impressed up top for you?
Not many, has there? Strikers like
yeah,
number
they
9s.
genuinely
No, like
haven't been
Mbappe
much.
flat, Kane flat. The big ones anyway, at least, have been.
Most of
flat.
the strikers, apart from Fulkrug, most of the strikers have been genuinely flat.
Throw
Apart from
Fulkrug in
that,
there if you want.
it's the Georgian striker, Miku
Yes,
Tadze.
that's who I've got in
Yeah.
mind. I was going to go through
Yeah.
my 5-side, then see
Yeah.
if he's
Go on.
either. Yeah.
Got
So
new
I
deals.
had Oblak
Yeah.
in next. I think he's been good. Calafiore, centre back
Yeah.
for Italy. I had Sabitzer in midfield. I think he's
Nice.
been phenomenal for
Yeah, he's been
Austria.
good.
Yeah,
Williams for Spain. I think it's been fantastic.
Yep.
And then the Georgian striker Mika Tuadze
Yeah.
up top as well, who's been phenomenal. And I think he'll get a big move in Europe. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to get one off form there and see what. Again, people in the chat, get yours in, and we'll read them out towards the end. 5-a-side, the players you've been most impressed with who were left in the tournament. So goalkeeper, centre back, midfielder, winger/10, and then a striker. And the last question: prediction for man of the match tomorrow, lads.
Kobbie fucking Mainu.
Yeah. Can we all just agree on that? Can we all just say Mainu?
Yeah.
I love that. Kobbie Mainu, man of the match. Also, we all think it's the same team, just with Mainu in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
If
Awesome.
if
That's nice and easy.
if he changes it, honest to God,
Yeah,
if he
you're
just
on to it.
goes, nah, Palmer's in, fucking Gordon's in, like,
Yeah.
I'd lose my fucking mind if he did that.
Yeah.
Lose my
Not
mind.
the only one, mate. Yeah. And the last one, score prediction. Shreyas, you kick us off because obviously it's a bit of jeopardy involved for me and Sam here. So you kick us off
1-0
to.
Oh, fucking hell.
England.
Okay,
If it goes 1-0 in the other direction, I don't think Southgate should even return back to England.
Yes,
He-
I probably
he
agree with
won't.
that. I
He
will second
wouldn't.
that. Yeah. He wouldn't. He'd live his rest of his days out in a lighthouse somewhere
Yeah.
in fucking God knows South America. Sam?
I agree with the 1-0, but I'll go different just so I can have an entertaining game. 2-1 England. I just need to
2-1.
see. I need to see some fucking entertainment because watching England at the minute is like watching paint dry.
It is really
Horrible.
bad, isn't it?
It's so
It's
bad.
like watching Italy then. Italy in
Yeah.
that game, that's what we've been
Shit.
playing. Like,
It's
flat,
fucking shit.
no rhythm at
No.
all. Just, yeah. I agree. I've actually gone for even worse. I've gone 1-1 and we win in extra time.
Oh fucking
penalties.
hell!
Or penalties. Or
Yeah.
penalties.
1-1.
Imagine going out on penalties.
Let me
Oh.
just give you a 20-second thing of what I think the game's going to go. I think
Okay.
England get an early goal, 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Cruising throughout the game.
Yep. Yep.
Chill, no worries. They get a fucking flick on from a corner or something
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Get back into it. Extra time. Oh, the stakes are high. Kane scores a penalty, probably through to the next round.
Or Kane skies a penalty.
Yeah. I agree with you, but I don't think it'll go to extra time. I think it'll get to like 80 odd minutes, and then somebody will put a goal in for England, and it'll be 2-1,
Yeah.
and
Palmer or something.
we'll just scrape through. Like we'll just scrape through.
Jesus, this is where we are at. Sorry if I've missed. Expected 11, anonymous, Pickford, Walker, Stones, Gay, Trippier, Rice, Mainu. Yeah, that's what we said. Luke Shaw not available to start. Gareth Hill,
What a
assessment.
shock!
Why has he gone? Why has he
I don't
gone?
know.
Genuinely, why has
Also,
he gone?
why is he doing every press conference going, he's not available? Yeah, we know. We know he's not available. He's not been available for United all season. Like, of course, we're fucking not available.
Like, he could just stay back and recover.
Dickhead.
Richard Hawkins saying 2-0 to England. Again, if you are watching this later on, because some of you aren't watching it live, let us know your score predictions and give us your 5-a-side in the chat as well. If you guys have nothing to watch after this video, make sure you check the news show me and Sam did earlier on today at 12 o'clock on Mateus de Ligt, because news around him is heating up at the minute. We're going to leave it at that because we're going to go record something for the members. Yeah, stay tuned to the page, subscribe, smash a like on the video. Me, Shreyas, and Sam will see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.
Peace.
See ya.